What's up, everybody? Welcome to another week of Q&A with me, Steven. How's everybody's week been? I don't know why I sounded like William Shatner for a second. How's everybody's week been? Wow. No, I don't know. I don't know where my impressions are going. What's up, everybody? It's a very interesting day today. Awesome. What's up, Rain Sweat? So I mentioned in the comment that's by the song is called Novocaine. It's by Tyler Britton, who's one of our Neural DSP users. He hangs out at the in the Facebook groups and the Q&A. So he sent me the track, and so I figured I'd use that as the opening music for some of the Q&As that I got going on. So and that is an open invitation to all of you guys. Send your shit to Steven at Neural DSP, and I'll see if I want to put it up in the Q&As. I mean, I'd love to get you guys more visibility. Show some cool stuff that you guys are working on. So, right. All right. Let's see. Rain Sweat, what's up? Frederick Hodgson, how's it going, dude? He says 5 days off work, music time, dude. Yes. No, I feel that Thanksgiving lull everybody's gonna go into. It's gonna be pretty awesome. Um, I know I'm gonna be spending a lot of time working with the Abasi because I really dig that plugin. Let's see. Yeah, Frederick says nice track. Yeah, that's all Tyler. He does great stuff. Really very Alice in Chains kind of heavily influenced, but I really like the take that he does on it. Um, yeah, Eric Vasquez agrees. Very Alice in Chains. He digs it. Ramon, my dude, he says he made it in making mashed potatoes. Yeah, so Ramon actually commented on one of my previous videos, asking to demonstrate using like the Abasi with the Nolly, like the Abasi heads with the Nolly impulse responses. So I'll go over that in just a minute. So let's go ahead and wait till everybody gets in as well. And then that'll be the first thing I go through. Fiction? I don't know how to pronounce that. Ficccions. Fiction. What's up, dude? Good week to you too. Awesome, man. How's it going? Um, Eric Vasquez says it's alright, man. Just need to get through school. I feel that, dude. Which school are you going through, and what are you studying? You guys are coming up on. I mean, if you're in the U.S., Thanksgiving break maybe pretty soon. Um, so he says the semester cannot end soon enough, dude. I feel that. I'm pretty like happy, um, that I don't have to go through school right now. It's pretty awesome. I enjoy it greatly. Schooling was never my forte. I love learning. I absolutely love like diving into a subject and figuring out on my own. So I never really did super well in a school environment. So yeah, so I always loved independent learning. And school always just was such a pain in the ass. Carl, what's up, dude? Let's see. Frederick Hodgson, have Darkglass. My go-to is Parallax worth getting. Okay, so it really depends on what you want to use the Parallax and the Darkglass for, because I think that they're both excellent tools, but they have different applications. I love the Parallax. That's almost always my go-to. But if you noticed in the Gojira vid that I did recently, I went with the Darkglass because the Darkglass got that nice kind of warm rock tone with the vintage, the VDU setting on it. So it depends on what you want to go through. But in using that, I did end up having to split my bass while I was mixing and then go with a secondary track to compress the low end. So it depends on what your ultimate goal is, because if you want to get some nice, like, you can get nice modern tones and some nice vintage tones with the Darkglass. However, mixing is easier with the Parallax. Not only that, but also like the Parallax does have some really awesome like modern and even some kind of rock tones, but like it depends on what you're going for. So like the Parallax will ease up your workflow for sure. Like it has mine for like I use the Euro bass and I just slap the Parallax on it, do a couple of tweaks, and then continue on from there. So yeah. Let's see. But yeah, so long story short, Frederick, do the trial version and see if you like it. I think it's awesome. But I mean, like, you know, as with all of the plugins, maybe they're not for everybody. So I would definitely I would say it's worth checking out because I love it and I've been using it almost constantly since it came out. But Jeff, definitely check it out. Yeah. Got it. So Frederick says he uses Fab Filter MB and Acoustica EQs post Darkglass for funk and jazz. Not so much distortion. So if you try out the Parallax and if it has too much distortion, back off of the input gain, and that'll get a nice smooth tone for you. So if you're gonna still use it for funk and jazz, I think you can still pull that off. You'll just have to back off the input so that way the bands aren't saturating as much. Cool. Okay, so there's okay. Let's see. Okay, Rod Kings asks, where did that Pliny and Nolly video come from? Totally unexpected and amazing. Um, I don't know. I heard that they were working on that. That like I actually wasn't really privy to that information, so I didn't know that that was coming out either. Um, I know that they I generally focus on all the things that I need to focus on because it takes all of my attention really to create all this kind of stuff that I'm doing right now. But I didn't expect that either. But I think it sounds fucking awesome because I actually listened to it about an hour and a half ago. Um, so yeah, so I'm stoked on it. It sounds pretty awesome. Oh, Frederick says always great videos. By the way, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. And I like having good feedback from you guys. Like if there's anything that you guys want me to go over, if you guys are having problems or like a specific thing you want me to address, like I'm always open to you guys just suggesting it because that's ultimately why I'm here, so that way I can help you guys get the most out of the plugins and the neural DSP experience. So I appreciate that, Frederick. That means a lot. Modern Vintage says, "What's up, dude? How's it going, man? Good to see you. Your Abasi presets in demo are better than the others by a long shot. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Like the Abasi plugin, it's really clean. It's really, really clean, and it's really easy to get those tones that I was going for. Not only that, but I was also able to really write some stuff that I kind of just wrote because I was inspired to write. Like I think that there are times when I'm making a video and it's like I know I have to write something in a particular style or a vein or whatever. And it's like, well, I can write in that style or that vein and it's easy enough for me to do, but maybe I'm not inspired to, so it's like I have to kind of work a bit harder to get the same authenticity across. Whereas like I just started writing with the Abasi and it was like, this sounds dope. Like especially that kind of like that intro section, like I had a lot of fun putting that together between the lead and the clean-ish part towards the beginning. Like I had so much fun with that. So yeah, no, I'm glad that you dig that stuff, man. That really makes me feel good, especially because I'm continually trying to make my productions and my music for you guys better. So it's good that that's starting to get translated well. So awesome. Okay, so Eric has answered my previous question. Currently at Arizona State University studying musical production. That's great, man. That's really, really awesome. That's very, very cool. Yeah, if you're, I'd be interested to know how good the music scene is there and translating the education to a career afterwards. I'm curious what your plan is for that, but we can go into that or not. It doesn't much matter. But let's see, Tempe Rocks. Okay, gotta go back up. Okay, so Creepus? We'll go with Creepus. He says, Neural DSP is hands down the best virtual amp sims I've tried. I was wondering whether you guys are planning to make a plugin which covers more of the bluesy, rocky style of music. Thanks. So I would say that the current plugins, especially like... So this is actually something that's been on my mind for the past like month, 2 months or so, because I actually really want to move the plugins like sound to go to the to more of that style. Like obviously, like Neural DSP has its roots in metal, but I really want to start broadening the horizon because I mean, like I did Gojira, I did Lamb of God, little Tom Morello, but I really want to get into some more low gain and clean guitar players, especially for like the Artist Tones videos, because I know that these tools are versatile enough to cover those styles for sure. I don't know if we're actually going to be like, if your question is whether we're planning to make a plugin which covers more of those bluesy rocky styles for an Archetype, I don't know. But I know that these plugins are definitely capable of like of modeling that style for sure. But I'll do some videos on it. I definitely want to do some videos on that. Stay tuned. Keep your eyes peeled. So L7QNA asks, hey, any info on including a chorus to any of the existing coming plugins? I know that that's something that they definitely want to start including. They got a lot on their plate. Like they're right now they're working through making updates to like the whole library of plugins right now. So I know that they want to drop that for you guys and include a couple of special things in there. I don't know if you guys have seen Sebastian's post in the Facebook group, but you should check it out. It's pretty hilarious. So that's something that they definitely are interested in doing. Whether that comes about anytime super soon, I'm not really sure. Let's see. Okay, so Bass Player 95 asks, when will an update come out so I can use Parallax on GarageBand? I know that they're working on updates right now. I don't know if that's included, but if you want, you can always email support@NeuralDSP so that you can, that way maybe you guys can work something out to, you know, figure out a time frame or if they can help you get Parallax into GarageBand. So, let's see. Okay, so Ramon asks, if you had to choose between Get Good Invasion or Parallax, because you only have $60 to spend, what would you go for? He has a Fender Rumble and MT Power Drums as alternative. I mean, I guess like if what you have is a Fender Rumble and MT Power Drums as alternative, like either one's going to be a really great tool for you. Because I'm not really familiar with the Fender Rumble or MT Power Drums. Because I've been using the Get Good P4 and the Parallax and obviously the other Neural DSP tools. But yeah, I'm not sure. I guess I guess it would just depend because I mean at some point you got to have both of them, I imagine. John McLucas asks, "Why do you smell so good?" It's because I shower, bro. Like like every day almost. I use the Old Spice deodorant and it makes me smell like something good. I don't know. Love you, bro. So yeah, so back to your question, Ramon. I'm not really sure. It depends on what you're going to get the most use out of. I imagine that it's probably going to be something that you, like, if you're a bass player, you probably want to get the Parallax so you can play through it. If you're a drummer, using the drum tools to be able to compose all the stuff. It's really up to you at this point. I mean, like, both are tools that you should probably own eventually, but it just depends on what you can afford, especially for like Black Friday sales. But yeah, so I mean that's ultimately up to you. After comparing, so Modern Vintage says, after comparing Abasi to the others for a while, it feels very different than the rest, more like a digital thing than real amp feel. Sort of like Pliny's presets, but less real. Thoughts? I mean, I could probably see the argument, I suppose. Maybe it's just that it could just be that it's just the Archetype Abasi, so like that's gonna be more of his style. I didn't particularly notice that myself, but then again, I mean, I've not had a ton of time because I did the video that dropped yesterday, and now I'm already like filming and recording the video and editing the video for Friday, so like my schedule has been absolutely slammed. So I haven't really had a whole lot of time to sit down with it like in a more personal setting, I guess. So I haven't really noticed that myself, but I'll definitely keep my ears open for that. Yeah. Adnan says, Steven, finally got the NTS. Dude, dope. I love the NTS. Let's see. Giancarlo says, hello guys, I'll have now to try the Abasi's Archetype. I'll let you know. Yeah, dude, I think you can dig it. Definitely try out the trial, just in case. Prameet says, hi. Hello. How's it going, dude? Okay, so Devin West asks, what is the status for MIDI for older plugins, Pliny specifically? I know the Pliny is probably going to get updated a little bit later than the original plugins, like the Darkglass, the NTS, and the Nameless. But I know that they're working super hard on getting that out, so it's going to be really, really, really soon. Maybe weeks, but I can't promise anything. because I haven't gotten a specific date. I can only tell you what I've been told through the company. So very, 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 very soon, and that's something that they're working very, very quick, very hard to get done. Say Andreas asks, any plans on creating a Petrucci archetype or something that will add chorus too? I think that's something that they're interested in, but I don't know of any particular plans to get that going. So yeah, we'll keep an eye out for that. And I know the chorus question was addressed earlier as well, so I feel like that's something they're interested in doing, but I'm not sure of the timeline of what they're gonna when they're gonna get that done. Rod Kings asks, Steven, could we say that the Abasi plugin is more suitable for 7 or 8 string guitars with extended range? I don't think that that's entirely true. I think that that's going to be up to the player and the pickup for sure. Because I was playing my 6 string through it and it sounded pretty dope. And even like the demo that I did yesterday, I only went to the 8th string on that B section. So everything else was like 4th string and above. Yeah, from my D string and up. D, G, B, E. Yeah, 4. Yeah, 4. I can count. So yes, I mean, like, I think that it's a versatile tool just as much as anything else. But again, it's going to depend on the player. It's going to depend on the guitar, the pickup, all the other factors that go into it. So I think that it's going to be really, really great for extended ranges, but I'm not going to say that it's not for something with 6 string. Preet says, love from India. What's up, dude? Yeah. Little heart. So Nick Maya, I'll say Maya. Nick Maya asks, could you do a quick chug comparison between the Sims at some point? Thanks. Yeah. Okay, so actually, why don't I just go ahead and move over into my Pro Tools section, and I'll answer Ramon's question because he asked me something in the comment section previously, and then I'll loop back around and do some quick chuggas, and then figure out the rest. Yeah, John McClucas says, damn, never thought to shower, bruh. Love you, bye. Okay, folk metal, gosh. Okay, let's see. Let me wait for my... Okay, so this will be interesting. This will be a learning experience for both of us, in fact, for all involved. So what I'm gonna do, let's make sure that I'm not. I'm getting everything out. All right, cool. So, Ramon, your question was first, so I'll start with that, because since you asked me a couple of days ago, what he asked was for me to demonstrate using like the Archetype Abasi head with the Nolly impulse responses. So it's actually a pretty easy thing to do, so I'm just going to deactivate those for the moment, and then just pull up clean versions of the Abasi Mono. And then we're just going to go ahead and turn off the cab sim on that one there. So now I just have the head, the distortion sound coming through. So let's go ahead and pull up the Nolly after that. Mono. We're going to turn off the head, turn off the pedal section, leave the EQ. I still have the EQ open in Abasi, but we're just gonna run with this for a moment and just leave that as is. So I have my impulse responses open, so I have no idea what this is going to sound like. Yeah, that actually sounds pretty awesome. All right. Let's see. And I didn't do anything to this so far. It's all still just very, it's all in its default settings. So, to take this further, let's go ahead and just adjust some of the settings. cool. So that's one way that you can. Oh shit! Did I not do that? Did it not work? Fuck! I fucked up, guys. I'm so sorry. Oh. All right. So I guess I could do this again, real quick, like. So I have my yeah, Ramon. Yeah, no. So that was supposed to be on. What happens is I have buttons on my mouse that switch between scenes on my OBS, and I messed that up because I pressed the button but it didn't switch. So that sucks. Okay, so I'll go through that again. Okay, so yeah, I'll just start over. Why not? And I'll just run through this real fast. So I bring up Abasi, bam. Let's go ahead and put it smaller, and then we'll go ahead and pull up the nollie. Bam. Make this smaller. What's down here? Now these are linked, so changing one changes the other, so I'm not going to worry about going through pasting whatever. So I turn off the head section in the nollie, I turn off the impulse response and the effects in the Abasi, and then boom. So, okay, cool. So hopefully that yeah, sorry about that, guys. That was kind of ridiculous. All right. So, Michael Lundquist asks best amp plugin for folk metal. That's a good question. I mean, like are you talking like what kind of bands? Cuz that can kind of cover some range, man. Folk metal, like if you're talking like Opeth maybe. Does like I've heard people describe Opeth as folk metal, in which case like either the Nameless or the Pliny, maybe even the Abasi, but I'm not sure. I would have to check to make sure. And again, it's like very very specific to the bands that are playing and their own personal tastes. So cool. So Peter asks, do you know if the impulse response loader in neural plugins have some high or low pass filters? Sometimes when loading external IRs, it seems to cut low and high. It used different wavelengths. Thank you. I don't know that actually. I would have to look into that. I would want to say no, but I'm not privy to that, I guess. Unless it was like a design thing, but I'm not sure, to be honest. It's a good question, though. I mean, like, that's something that at some point I'm going to have Francisco and Doug on the Q&A again, so that'll be a question that I'll be servicing up to them because they'll know for sure. All right. Pramit asks, what should I buy for metalcore and progressive metal music? Nameless or Fortin? I think you're asking Fortin NTS. I think either of those would do really well. Like if you want to go back and listen to the Lamb of God video, I used the Fortin NTS and the Nolly for the newer stuff. But yeah, I mean, like I think that it could be attained by either. It's just, again, it depends on what sound you're going for. But I would definitely do the trial versions. If you go to Neural DSP's website, you can get trial versions of any of the plugins, so you can try them out yourself and figure out which one will suit your style best. Because everybody's going to be a little bit different, again, with the different playing styles, different hands, different pickups, different picks. Like, people are going to be very, very different from one another. So Modern Vintage says anyone that wants a Petrucci tone, get Neural Plini or Nolly, and the ML Sound Lab Mega Traditional Cab Pack. Load the 57B into Neural and save it as a preset. Yeah, man, that sounds great. Easy peasy. Like I don't think that it's going to be really difficult to emulate Petrucci's tone. I think he uses Mesa Boogie Mark IVs, if I'm not mistaken, right? Oh, okay, cool. So Ramon was asking a follow-up question. Unfortunately he's currently limited by Reaper. Would I set one channel into another channel, or have them in series on effects in one channel? So Ramon, you would have them. Let's go ahead and put back the Pro Tools screen real quick. So I have these on a single channel. So like this is my DI. I have these grouped again. But you can just have like the singular track here. Like this is one effect going into the next effect, and then that's pretty much where it goes from there. You could have these on. I mean, you could have them going to like a separate track, but you really don't need to. Yeah, you could have them going to a separate track, but you really don't need to do that. There are a lot of different ways to do this. I could have these on a stereo track. So like, just for instance, stereo. Did it not do it again? Dang it! Thank you. Why is this not working? Yeah, okay. Okay, stereo. So I created a test stereo track. And I'm going to set this to my guitar rhythm group, so the processing is the same. So say you get like a DI sent to you, like it is a stereo track, and you want to just save space, save CPU power. I can go to like, and there's going to be like a different. There's probably going to be something different with Reaper, but like for Pro Tools, I have to select what's called a multi-mono plugin, which means that your left and right are processed individually from each other rather than as a stereo track. So from here, I can go up to Neural DSP. I can go to the Abasi. I can turn off the impulse response. I can pull up the Nolly multi-mono plugin, Neural DSP, Nolly. Turn this off, turn that off. My impulse responses, and then I'll have the same thing. Actually, it's because I affected the archetypes in the left and right. So let's go ahead. Oh, can't do that. Nolly. So that's one way that you could do that, because then you're saving yourself, 2 plugins worth of CPU processing. So, so that is definitely one way that you can do that. Oh, cool. So Modern Vintage says ML Sound Lab, Marshall and Ames. Ames's can packs. Sorry, I'm having difficulty reading this. ML Sound Labs, Marshalls, and Ames's packs. And the nameless really add a lot of versatility to the nameless, from vintage to modern Marshall Mesa blend. Highly recommended versus other plugins. No, that's definitely a way to go. Let's see, did I miss something? Oh, so Modern Vintage asks, was this the last new plugin product for 2019? I don't know. We'll see. I like keeping you guys in the dark, but it's exciting because I know what's coming, so it's great. not to be a jerk or anything, you know. I just know, like, I can't, like, I just really can't talk about it, unfortunately. Um, Michael D, how's it going, dude? All right. Okay, so Bob Music asks, I'm going right into my Steinberg UR22 MK2 with my guitar. Some say a DI is recommended. Is there a real difference? Read something about a buffer once. Don't know if I can upgrade my sound at some point. Okay, so it really just depends on if you have an instrument or a mic input. So most interfaces have an instrument input, which is just your quarter inch in. Uh, if you have that, then you should be good. Basically, you want to make sure that your output ohmage is less than the input ohmage on your device. That's the reason for having a DI. I guess the largest reason for having a DI is just so that your like on previous inputs, like our previous interfaces, you would have inputs with low ohmage because it's a mic input, and then your guitar signal is a high impedance sound or high impedance signal. So what a DI would do is bring that high impedance to a low impedance, so that way it could be taken by the interface and not give any sort of like distortion or weird EQ problems. So if you have a quarter inch input, I mean, check your manufacturing specs and make sure that your input is capable of handling that load. Um, but generally most of this stuff is good enough to do so. Like if you don't hear any problems sound wise, then don't worry about it as much. But having a DI does give you a couple of advantages. So I did actually make a video on guitar DIs. It's on the Neural DSP page. If you go to the page and chat and search DI boxes, you'll come up with my video. I go into in depth why you would want one and why one would not be necessary. So and because here's the thing, um, it's gonna be dependent on your situation and what your ultimate goal is. Um, but yeah, so check out the video and I kind of break down why you would want one. So yeah, um, so hopefully that helps. Like you're not gonna need it in every situation for sure. Um, let's see. Modern Vintage says the aluminum amp reminds me so much of a Mac Pro. That's hilarious. I didn't even really think about that. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I'm looking at it, and let's see, is it still on Pro Tools? Yeah, it is still on Pro Tools. Yeah, no, that's hilarious. That kind of honeycomb look is definitely it. All right, let's. All right, back on my face now. Great. Um, let's see. So Prameet asks, which plugins would I choose to get Motionless in White's guitar sound? That's a good question. I probably would go with the Nolly at first thought. I'm not 100% familiar with their sound, to be honest, or their gear, but I know they have more of a modern sort of sound, so I think that the Nolly would probably service that pretty well. Um, oh, nice. Michael D says, just got my hot rodded Strat back from getting routed for the new pickups he put into it. Can't wait to try it on the Archetype Abasi tomorrow. Dude, yes. Yeah, jump on that. It's going to be. I really want to. Like, I've actually been seriously considering buying a Strat style guitar just to keep in the studio because having something with single coil pickups, like, I really want it. I really, really want it. And I think it would work super well with the Abasi for sure. Okay. All right. So, Insight TV, Steven, I wrote you on Facebook on Sunday. Have you got the message? I did. I'll get back to you, man. Things are really crazy for me right now, and I will get back to you when I have the first chance, dude. I promise. I will. All right. Michael D says, also, Steven, did you check out my case study I sent last week, the one that won me a Best New Writer award? Yeah, no, I did take a peek at that. It's pretty awesome, dude. I didn't get a chance to look into it a lot though, but I have to put a reminder so that I can really dig into it. But yeah, I took a peek and it's pretty cool. Mr. Hard Rocker says, hey Steve, what's up? I just tuned in. Super hyped on the Abasi, the third amp, the pick attack. Oh, spectacular, man. Yes. I totally agree. Let's see. Yeah, so Modern Vintage says, I mentioned ML Sound since they, Nolly, and the Neural team work together on stuff. Also, the nameless low gain with ML Orange is great. Such a versatile amp at low gain with different IRs. Yeah, man. I haven't had a chance to check out ML Labs stuff, to be very honest. I want to. Normally I get what I need out of the stuff that's already in there. Like, that's not like a dig on ML Labs at all. But that's definitely something I need to hop on and just to see. Awesome. Michael D, awesome. Yeah. All right. Jeremy Jensen says, Steven, my dude, any dual rectifier plugins in the works? PS Neural DSP are some of the greatest plugins on the market. I've been converting my friends. Dude, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know if we have any dual rectifier ones in the works. Some of them can get kind of close to the dual rec sound. Like the NTS is pretty close in my opinion, but I would definitely, I mean, keep your eyes open. Like I said earlier, I can't necessarily talk about releases before they come out. But keep your eyes open. I know we got some really great stuff on the horizon, and I'm really stoked to see what you guys are gonna be, how you guys are gonna react to it. Oh, this is great. Dude, I gotta know how to pronounce your name because I can't just say unreadable Cyrillic name dude here. But unreadable Cyrillic name dude here. Black Friday deals from Neural DSP are awesome. Aside from metal, what plugins do you think will be good for Green Day type of sound? Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Aside from metal, what plugins do you think? Green Day. Green Day, if I'm not mistaken, I would imagine are probably more along the Marshall sort of sound. Like I don't know. Hang on. I am curious. And because everything is on the internet to be found, Green Day rig rundown. Yeah, okay, so I'm seeing like Marshalls. So I would go with anything that has like a Marshall tone. So I would probably start with the Pliny second head, the Nolly second head, and even I would say probably the Nameless, and just roll off the and roll off the input knob. Yeah. Ancient Mariner says, any way to incorporate FX into the plugins? What do you mean? Because it has effects, but if you are asking about like adding in additional things to the effects, like you want your own reverb or delay or something like that, what you can do is you can turn off, I mean, it's kind of like a workaround, and this is really just a guess at what you're asking, so let me double check, make sure that my scene's changed. Great. So let's say, for the sake of argument, let's see, lead one. Now I have my Archetype Nolly doing my Gojira lead. Okay. If I wanted a chorus or something. Okay, so chorus depends on if you want it pre-distortion. Great, yeah. Okay, so that's easy. Easy. Just pick up a chorus, chorus pedal, put it in your. Let's see, where do Air chorus, fuck it. I might actually have to pull the guitar out to do this. That's a good question, though. I'm glad that you asked that. Okay. Where is quarter inch? There you are. Input 3. So if you wanted chorus, let's just pull up a chorus. Let's try this again. Here. All right, can you all hear that? I'm just kind of making these a little. I'm making this a little bit extreme, just so you can kind of hear what's happening, because I'm not sure exactly what the quality is going to translate to. So let's go ahead and pull up let's just pull up. No, let's go with the Abasi. I'm actually really curious to hear what this sounds like with the Abasi. Let's go ahead and go to the clean one. It's medium size. We're gonna go with the blend knob right about here. Gain down. That's starting to make me sick, so I'm gonna back off of this this chorus a little bit. So now if we want to start getting up a little bit more into the gain territory, I can go ahead and get this. Put on the Pathos pedal, put on the Logos, just so I get like a little bit of compression. Bump this up, hear what this sounds like. So yeah, so once you start adding in like a little bit too much distortion, you're not gonna have much. So let's actually try putting this post. I wonder what that's gonna sound like. Nice. That sounds pretty cool. So yeah, so I mean, like, it's all about signal flow. I forgot the name of the person who actually Ancient Mariner. Yeah, yeah. Sounds good. So okay, so he's following up. Sounds good. Would love to see a video of you trying out the plugins with different effects. Yeah, man, I'm definitely down to do that. And the cool thing is, once you start getting like MIDI, like when you start MIDI enabling some of these pedals in your DAW, like you can start actually using them like a pedal board. So, I'll definitely do a video on that for sure. And my dad says, "Hey son, awesome work. Hope you get to see you this weekend, Dad. Love you, Dad. Glad you're hanging out." Let's see. Michael D says, "Well, Papa Ward, let me tell you, your boy is helping us plug in noobs find our sound. You did well with him, and I feel you should know it." Hey. He's very, very proud of me, and I couldn't be happier right now, man. So awesome. Thanks, Dad, for popping in. I appreciate that. James Yellow says, "Hey Steven, I love the Abasi plugin, but only for cleans. Can you help me get more chuggy tones?" Dude, yeah, absolutely. Have you checked out my presets page? Big thing. Big thing. The Neural DSP launched their own preset sharing page. I'm actually going to put it into the chat right now so you guys know. unity.neuraldsp.com. Yeah, so if you guys want to share your presets, go to unity.neuraldsp.com, and that's going to be the place where you guys can make threads and share stuff. So I've already shared a couple of my presets there. Check it out. It's going to be awesome. But for the time being, I still need to migrate all of my presets over there. So James, if you want to go to my bit.ly link, so it's like bit.ly/S W presets with a capital P. That goes to my Google Drive folder that has all of my presets there. And that actually has the presets from my Abasi demo that I did on Tuesday. So yeah, go ahead and check it out. And let me know what you think. Tag me in the Facebook group or something like that if you have any other questions or need any help with that. Okay, so Bob Music asks, why did the Abasi plugin change the way the master volume works? With Nolly, it worked great changing the volume. Last Q&A, I felt like you guys really dig that as well. I really dig that. And here's like I don't know why they changed it back. That could have been a personal preference of Tosin's. I really don't know. Unfortunately, I feel the same where I was using the Nolly's master volume control like to great effect because it actually volume compensated on the way out. But so I don't know why they changed it. And again, like that was a feature that I really like, and that's something that I hope that maybe they update later on. But like right now, that kind of just is what it is, I suppose. Unfortunately, I would change it if I could, but we'll see what the guys are able to do in the future. Oh yeah. So Modern Vintage says that was very Black Hole Sun. Weird vibes on this rainy day. Haha, I'm with you on the it's making me sick. Yeah. Yeah, no, too much chorus is a little it's a little much. But no, I appreciate that, man. Rod King says, "Gotta go, work to do. See you, Steven. Have a good one, brother. I will see you soon." Oh, Ramon says this house smells like glorious garlic right now. Man, I'm jelly. I'm really jelly right now. Like I would kill for some garlic mashed potatoes or something like that. Oh, some gravy. I'm hungry now. All right. Peter asks, I think you asked earlier, so do Neural have any plans to make sims with other HW amp companies, high watt, I'm guessing, like Fortin, or rather stick with the archetypes? Unfortunately, I can't really address that, because I can't, I know that they probably want to work with other companies, but we'll see we'll see what the future holds. You know, like I can't necessarily address that directly, unfortunately. There we go. Let's see. Insight TV says it will be awesome if Neural DSP make a universal saturation distortion plugin which will be suitable for any tasks. For example, dubstep, basses, trap 808 sounds. What do you think, Steven? Um, I don't know. I guess I mean that might be something that they're into. I got like they kind of got a good thing going with the guitar and bass plugins right now, so I don't know if they're going to change course to do that anytime soon. I mean, it would be great. Like I love having more tools in my toolkit, but it's just going to be. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Ramon says, "Hell yeah, time to steal everyone's tones." Yeah, so yeah, that's gonna be pretty hilarious. But yeah, feel free to go into unity.neuraldsp.com and then get your tones on. You know, and be sure to share with other people what you've been working on as well. You can attach some stuff in there. My mom says garlic mashed potatoes. You got it, son. Mr. Hard Rocker says BTW. I noticed the Abasi standalone disables the mode stereo mode. It is only set to stereo. Is this normal? Is the reverb delay still stereo? Okay, so that's a good question. Okay, so the mode stereo switch merely changes the input signal from stereo to mono and back, depending on if you have again the plugin on like an aux track and you have a left and right DI signal going to that aux track or something like that. If it's only set to mono, that's because it's just going to be receiving the singular input. However, if you want for dual inputs to it, you can change that, I believe, in the audio settings and make a second input. But yeah, so that's what that switch does. Ramon asks, any thoughts on Neural DSP creating some kind of effects loop ability to allow the use of effects from other plugins pre-power stage? That's a good question. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing. I think that would be pretty. I have a feeling that would be pretty time intensive to create, especially if you're going back and doing that with the previous plugins. I mean, I think that would be really dope. But I think also I think it would be easy enough just to put the effects post plugin like I did with that chorus effect and still get a pretty good sound out of it. So Creepus asks, which plugins are you using for metalcore? I feel like you can get some really good metalcore sounds from probably the Nameless, the Nolly, and now the Abasi. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think those would be my go-tos. That would be like the first. Those would be the first plugins that I would address just in case. Yeah. So, cool. So it is 2 o'clock. I'm starting to get very hungry. So let's go ahead and start. The garlic mashed potatoes started making me salivate. So yeah. So let's go ahead and put in for our last questions of the week. So who's got questions? I've got answers, potentially, unless you guys ask me about future plugins, in which case I will say the exact same thing that I have. Oh, that's an interesting question. So Ramon says, or perhaps release a version of the plugins that is only the preamp, so that way we can feed that into any impulse response. Well, I mean, like you can feed the I mean, if you just turn off the impulse response. like, cause you're asking for two different things, right? So like you have the preamp, the post amp, or the preamp, the power amp, and then the impulse response, right? You're asking about doing an effects loop into the into the power amp, so you get that additional saturation on the way out to the impulse responses. Because now you can use any impulse response you want, but as far as just putting out a preamp or a distortion, I don't know if that's in the works right now. But I think that it'd be easy enough just to turn off these sections and then just add your like the way that I would do it is if you wanted to. Oh, you know what? Actually, is a great. Okay, here's the thing. So I illustrated earlier how you can use the Abasi head and the Nolly impulse responses. If you want to get that same effect as putting a an effect in the loop, I would then just move that the impulse response instance down, and then put your your effect, your chorus, your delay, your reverb, or whatever. Put that in between the head and the impulse response, and you'll get a very similar feel. Because then your effect will be affected by the impulse response's EQ curve. So that's how I would get around that currently. Mr. Hard Rocker says the yellow peripheral on the amp, was that an Abasi's idea? Lamborghini cars, etc. I don't know, actually. That's a really good question. I'll have to ask him myself at some point. Bob Music, good question. He asked, do we always get emails if there is an update on plugins, or do we have to look if they are there? You will definitely get an email, especially on the updates coming up next. So keep an eye out for that. If you're not a part of the Facebook group, go ahead and join that as well, because I know that I'm personally going to be posting in there a lot when the updates come out, so that way everybody can see that. So, yeah, subscribe to the email, jump in the Facebook group, and you'll definitely be aware of that when it comes out. Creepus asks, what does the oversampling button do? I've been setting it on high, but don't really notice any difference. Thanks, man, and enjoy your meal. So oversampling, what it does is it processes the signal. It processes the signal at a higher sample rate, so you have a better quality version of the sound. To my ear, it gives a little bit more clarity on the high end, and maybe a little bit better mid range. But like for me personally, I've done full mixes with the oversampling off or on normal, and been completely fine with the sound. So like, it is a CPU hog as well, and that's usually the first thing to come off if I'm having CPU problems, which I really don't, because I have an i9 processor in my rig. But that's normally the first thing to go if you're trying to conserve your CPU power. But yeah, so it's just about processing the signal at a better quality rate. But that's about it. Again, for me, I can hear a little bit more clarity in the high end, a little bit better mid range, but to me, it's very, very minimal. So if it's like eating up your CPU, then don't worry about it. Ramon, can you turn off the power amp section? No, you can turn off the impulse response section, but not the power amp. Yeah, Bob Music answered the same question in a similar way. So just lowering quality. If you listen to the highs, you can clearly hear the difference. Sort of like going from MP3 to WAV. Yeah. Awesome. Well, so let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. Yeah, thank you all so much for coming by, hanging out with me for another week. I hope that everybody who's going to be enjoying and celebrating Thanksgiving is going to have a great one. I'm looking forward to hanging out with people, and I will see you all in that next one. You all have a great week, you guys. Later.